Look, I'm live again. I wanted to move to a different area of my room to see how the lighting was here and the angles or whatnot. And I think I like it. It's okay. It is what it is. Okay. Anyway, I'm Magical Jones. I want to say thank you to all of my new subscribers. I went from, I believe, 19, 20 to 25, so I gained like 5 or 6 subscribers within the since last night. So I would like to say thank you and welcome. Okay, I'm still trying to get used to this webcam. It does glitch and freeze up or whatnot. It's one that I had for a while, and come to find out I couldn't find it, but my son had it in his room. So I gave him one of my AVG cords, and he gave me back my webcam. How that work? Anyway, as some of you know, I have been gone for like a month. Like, cancer season was really, really hard for me. Okay, emotionally, um, finding my truths, my values, all that stuff. Just because I'm intuitive and um, spiritual or whatnot doesn't mean that I don't go through things just like everybody else. We go through it too, trust me. And it's like, to me, I don't know. It seems like, from my observation, it seems like we go through it like worse. It's crazy because it's like we know what's going on, and it's like, you know, I don't know. It's like you think you on the right path, and then come to find out the universe is like, honey, you got some more learning to do. You got some more lessons to learn. You got more um, tests to take. There's some more people that's in your life that need to go. There's a couple of partnerships that you need to create. So I gotta move you around. I gotta move you about. But what did I name this? Oh, introducing myself. All right. Like I said, my name is Magical Jones. Um, I started, actually, when I first started doing YouTube some years ago. I wasn't into tarot, on a different channel, and I was doing like inspirational videos, little vlogs, whatever you call them, and just motivating people. It's always been my passion to want to encourage and inspire people, to motivate people, because I know from my own personal experience we need it. We all can use some inspiration and motivation, and you know, from looking at social media these days, you would think that some people are made of fire, like they just got fire in them, like they got the drive to go, like from morning to night. They have the highest confidence and no doubt. All their situations are set up perfect for them and all this. I mean, social media will fool you, okay? But I know that in real life we go through things, you know. I don't like the way that my glasses is reflecting. Hold on, let me see. I'll move back like this. That's a little better. But nope, there you go again. I guess it's like when I hold my head up like this. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Anyway, we all go through it, you know, and we all need, you know, a little pep talk sometimes, you know. So don't think for one moment that you're by yourself, that, you know, you're the only person that needs, you know, motivation. A lot of us that motivate and inspire others, we we need it the most. Okay. I don't know why it works like that, but it works like that. I guess because it has a lot to do with um, this gift coming so natural, and you like second guess yourself, like, am I saying the right thing? Is this resonating with anybody? You know, and I'm sorry, I'm closing out some notifications. But yeah. Anyway, like I said, my name. I am 42 years old. When it comes to zodiacs, I am in Western astrology. I am a Aries Taurus cusp. I am a Taurus moon. I am a Virgo rising. I have Mercury in Taurus. I have Jupiter in Gemini. I have Venus in Aries. I have Mars in Pisces. Okay. Um, Capricorn in Leo. Let me see. Is it Capricorn? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I said that wrong. How a sign gonna be in a sign? I have Saturn in Leo. I have Uranus in Scorpio. I have my north node is in Libra. My south node is in Aries. Imagine that. Um, my Lilith is in, or dark moon or black moon, whatever you call it, you want to call it. But Lilith, she's in, or it's in Taurus as well. Let me see, where's my Chiron? Is my Chiron in Libra, or is it in Pisces? I don't know. Anyway, that's Western astrology, Vedic astrology. I'm an Aries sun. I remained a Taurus moon. I'm a Leo rising. My Mars is in Pisces still. but my Aries is in Pisces, and not my Venus is in Pisces and not Aries. I'm sorry. Venus is in Pisces in Vedic. I believe my Mercury remains in Taurus. And that's all I remember as far as my Vedic birth chart. So, yeah, 420. um, I have always been a spiritual person, very intuitive, very sensitive to vibrations. Um, I could always read the energies on people, even when I was a little girl. I always had my mama, she call it discernment. She said, "Girl, you got that discernment good." um, yeah, I before I I don't want to say before I awakened, I was Christian, but I think I can say that because I was a child and I wasn't really, like on my consciously on a spiritual path, or I wasn't conscious of what was going on. So I guess I can say that I, when I awakened, I was Christian, or before I awakened, I was Christian. I used to minister in the church, small church that my dad he was a minister, and his wife they were ministers here in Georgia. Before that, I used to always go to church. Um, my mom, she's into the church as well, and when I first awakened and I was conscious of religion and the bondage, the mental and spiritual bondage that it puts people in, and especially Christianity, I was like furious because I was like, how can you be, so ignorant to hear this information and still choose um, not to go on a different path, or not to research it on your own or whatnot. So I used to always be like, oh, you're stupid. So I'm like on Facebook, especially like social media, you know how it is. We got all these revolutionists on social media, but in real life, people just normal and have normal lives, and some of them even go to church. But yeah. But then I met someone, and they introduced me to vibrations and energies, and really like meditation. And they taught me how to meditate. You know, I wasn't that good at it then. I was still like scared to close my eyes because, being, sensitive to energies is like you feel things, and you can feel when something is close to you, and you're not sure what type of energy it is, but you can feel it. And it's not necessarily good, it's not necessarily bad, but if you're not really in that mode to where you're trying to discern, or you know to discern, you know what it is. You just know that you don't want to have anything to do with it. So, I was like, I would close my eyes, and then I'll, before I know it, I'll open my eyes. I was always one. I never wanted to sleep in the dark. Like, I never wanted to sleep with the lights off. And I was just always so scared of everything. It's like, I used to have visions of, like, look at me twisting my hair. And look, I don't know, some of you guys may have been with me from when I first cut my locks off. But I cut my locks off, and then I got my hair cut from a barbershop, and my hair was so low, like so low. I had pictures on Instagram and Facebook, but I even had the little part. I think the parts were on this side. Yeah, I had like two parts. Could have been on this side. I think they were on this side, and I loved it though. But now, I like it kinky looking. I like it to look kind of like unkept. But I try to at least, like pat it down. And you see how I just went off topic? I went totally off topic. The glare from the window is messing with the lighting. But anyway, I just always have like visions and things of like at one time, I'm sorry, it glitched or froze or whatever it did. And it's doing it a lot. But I had this, and I remember it was real. I was laying in my room. Back in my days, I was born in the 70s, so probably like in the late 70s or the early 80s, um, when things were normal. uh, but I was laying in the bed taking a nap or something, because kids used to actually take naps back in them days, had to. And yeah, we used to have to actually take naps. I don't know if you guys heard me because it froze up again. But I remember laying in the bed, and I'm looking out the window, and I seen a lady on a broom fly past my window, clear as day. And she was like laughing. It was like what society calls a witch, okay? Like those of us that know, or have any knowledge or any common sense, knows that a witch is not the witch that you see at Halloween and all that, with the pointed hat and all that. You know, these are normal people that are actually very earthy type people. But anyway, yeah, I seen this woman fly past my window, and I don't know if it was a dream. I don't think it was a dream because it seemed so real. But anyway, I just see stuff like that. Um, I always see orbs, and I still do see orbs. Um, I don't really see, when I was younger, I used to see shadows, but I don't really see shadows anymore. Um, Certain energies, when they're close to me, I could tell because I'll get these cold chills, like a real cold chills, like it make you feel like the hairs on the back are standing up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? And you kind of like tense up, like, oh my God, what the hell is this? But anyway, but I could always look at people like how you're looking at me. I could always look at people and tell whether they were good or not good. And I don't want to say evil or, you know, but I could always tell whether they were evil, or good or bad, okay, positive or negative, or now I could say I could tell whether they they had positive energies or negative energies on them. In a sense, not in the feminine and the masculine. See, I just analyze everything. Like I'm like, but you know what I'm talking about. Um, I could tell whether they were good or bad. Okay, and now the same way. I'm very much more developed with it. Oh, another thing, and I don't know if you experience this, but I can be, and it's always when I'm laying in the bed, like real, like relaxed, almost sleep. I hear parts of conversations, like, oh, I just saw two, 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 two. I hear it clear as day, like, and I could tell whether it's a man's voice or a female's voice. And now I learned that when I do it to try to recall what the voice said, and also now I can hear a little bit more. Like before, I was just hear like a word, but now I can hear like a sentence. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can hear into another dimension. It's like it's somebody having a whole conversation like right here, but it has nothing to do with me, and I have nothing to do with it, but I can hear it. Yeah, I always thought that was cool, but it was also it's always been so weird, you know. And you know, certain people you can't go to them and be like, I keep hearing these voices in my head. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've always been spiritual and somewhat in tune. Um, how did I get into tarot? I have no idea. But anyway, like I was saying, I met someone when I awakened out of the after I was Christian. I awakened or had an awakening, and I was black conscious. You know, and I still am. Okay, I'm very aware of what's going on with my people. Okay. Um, some would say that it has everything to do with what vibration you're on or whatnot, but you still can't deny the fact that these injustices are going on. Okay, it's real life. the purpose for the injustice. To me, it's not relevant at this point. But after I awakened to the injustices that were going on with not just my race but other races as well. How like the higher ups are playing games with um, like a chess game with the average person, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're still being used. Okay. So after that, like I said, I was introduced to something a little bit more higher, that vibrated a little higher, and meditations and things like that, affirmations, and um, I always knew about incense, but burning the incense and the being natural. Um, I was already natural at the time because I had locks. I had locks, and I was still a Christian because I'm always drawn to natural things. Okay. Anyway, so this person introduced me to meditations, to herbs, to oils, natural oils, and things like that. And from there, it kind of went to um, it kind of went to I changed the way that I ate. So I was eating everything. At that point, I was still eating pork. Um, so what happened is eating. I stopped eating beef, pork. I cut all the way down on things like goat or whatnot. So basically, the only that I was eating was poultry, chickens or birds, and fish. And I was introduced to more alkaline foods. Not really alkaline at that point, but more nutritional food. Okay. So I became a little bit more health conscious. Um, and I loved it. Slightly after that, this was in like 2013. And then I was introduced to Dr. Sabi and his teachings, and how um, foods either heal you or they'll kill you. And I like immediately changed my eating habits. Like I was only on like birds and fish. I cut off all the birds. I did continue to eat fish. Um, I picked up all alkaline food. Like if it was not on the Dr. Sebi list, I was not eating it. And people could not understand it for anything in the world. People would always pick with me or like look at me sideways because they thought that I was being finicky or being picky, but I wasn't. I was being health conscious. Okay, I was eating to live. Um, I'm a tourist. I love to eat, so I can't say that I was like eating in like little small portions. How some people actually do. Like they'll some people won't eat at all until they have to. That wasn't me. But everything that I ate was alkaline. I cut out white sugar. Um, when I cut out the beefs and everything like that, I cut out milk. I hadn't had milk since I had pork, and that's been, like I said, probably about 7, 8 years ago. No, it's been longer than that. Yeah, about 8, 9 or so years ago. Anyway, um, then from there, um, things got a little mixed up because I um, I met someone and they weren't on the path that I was on, and they ate everything. And my children, they continue to eat everything as well. But when I would be around this guy that I was dating, you know, children, and I had to cook meats and everything. I maintained that lifestyle though for probably about 3 years. So I ate Dr. Sadie's diet. Granted that I was still eating fish and some seafoods, but mostly fish. So from the health consciousness, I um, I really got into like the herbs and um, spices and their properties, the vibrational properties of these herbs, and I started um, performing alchemy, with the herbs and things and the oils and all this other type of stuff. So it's what some would call a kitchen witch. I started, doing candle magic. I started doing color resonance, because once you get into candle magic, it lets you know about the relevance of colors. From there, that's how I got into the planets, because certain days were for certain things that you wanted to manifest, and certain planets ruled certain days, or still does. And you gone? Need a ride? You good? You got your bike? I'm sorry. Hold on, you guys. You got your bike? All right. So what about when you get off work? All right. All right. Call me if you need me. Have a good day. All right. But yeah. So like certain planets rules certain days, and then I got into um, the African deities that ruled over certain planets and certain days, and it just gradually built up until I really really just got into. I was already into like zodiac signs slightly, but then I still want to know how I got into tarot. I don't know. I think it was from a group that I was in on social media, and somebody had asked me if I knew anything about tarot, and it was a guy, and I said no, I don't. And he was like, "Oh, okay," because I'm thinking about getting these particular tarot cards, but I don't know anything about them, and I was wanting to learn about them, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I said, well, when you get them, just let me know. Not that I was offering to help, but knowing me, I probably did say something along those lines. But from there, that kind of like sparked something in me, and I kind of like started researching and learning about tarot cards and the meaning of, you know, the arcanas, and just all of them really. The major arcana, um, the suits, which are the cups, the the pentacles, the wands, and the swords. You know, and how each suit is related to um, each element of the zodiac, and from there, I just got into it, and I used to watch. I used to sit back and watch tarot readings online for like hours, and I used to just learn. You know, listen to them and learn. Like listen to them and learn, and then I finally ordered my own, which is still my only a high priestess. That's Taurus energy, and also Pisces. This is mystery, secrets unknown, intuition. But intuitively, I was drawn to tarot. So yeah, I ended up ordering my own deck, and I was so excited. And the people in my life, they were not excited for me. They told me that it was wrong. They told me that I didn't know what I was doing. That if I played with fire, I would get burnt. Um, I was opening up doors for spirits to come in, and if I used my tarot cards, they wanted nothing to do with it. Okay, almost to the point to where I had a significant relationship, and I was told that it was either him or tarot. So I couldn't put down my tarot, but I respected him enough to not to talk about tarot or anything like that in his presence. So anyway, after that, um, I ended up, because I wanted to get another deck of tarot, but I wasn't decisive on which deck I wanted to get. So I'm very frugal, so I don't always have a lot of money to spend, and when I do, I make sure that it's, when I buy things, they are in my price range. You know, I'm not gonna front. I'm not one like, oh yeah, and I do this. Oh yeah, I got like 5 decks and this that. No, I'm not, you know there yet. But then I found these on Wish, and they're quite basic, but they're oracle cards or spirit cards, and they have little spiritual messages on them. So I started incorporating these with my tarot. Then I did some research on, because I had came across the information, and then I did some research on how to read playing cards. And I although I don't know from like memory the meaning of each playing card, but what I do, I the I use these as clarifiers. And I found this deck at the Kroger, and it stood out to me because look, and I had never seen a deck like this before. So to me, that was unique, and it was unique enough for me to spend some money on it. So, yeah. So that's how I got into to the tarot. I was guided to the tarot, and I have my challenges when it comes to people in for that word in my life. These people are at the present moment. These people are no longer close to me right now. So actually, I have nobody that's close to me right now but my children. And yeah. But anyway, so that's how I got into the tarot. I love it. Okay, but at the same time, I want to be able to connect to you in various and different ways because I know that everybody is not into the tarot. Okay, I know that some people just be wanting to hear some some words of encouragement or some how tos and all that, and you know it doesn't have to involve the tarot. Okay, so yeah, this video is at 42 minutes and 30 seconds. And I have been on here long enough. Okay. This is just me enjoying the the ability to be able to go live. Because like I said, I was like, let me tell you, okay. Let me tell you what's going on with me, okay? Like I lost I don't know whether you could say I let go of my job or I lost my job, but I'm a certified CNA. I have a license to do phlebotomy, but I hadn't practiced it yet. I was only trained to do it, so I hadn't had a job doing it. So I I was currently, still doing CNA. I've been doing CNA since like 1999, off and on. And I just finally got to a point to where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, like I care for people. I want to help people. I want to help heal people, but I don't want to do it like this anymore. So that passion for going to work and loving on those elderly people, it was still there, but my heart wasn't really in it anymore. And that is that's one line of work that you have to be, your heart has to be in it, okay, to do it. You can't do that type of work for the money because, for one, they don't pay you enough, okay. As a CNA, you do not get paid enough to do the type of work. And when I would the positions that I would hit in CNA was always memory care. So I always work with the patients that have Alzheimer's or dementia and sundowners, and I mean it gets rough, okay, and most of them are incontinent, so you don't get paid. You can't get paid to do that type of work. You have to love what you do. And I got to a point to where I wasn't loving it anymore. And one of my lessons in life is to always do do what makes you happy. And if something doesn't make you happy anymore, then don't do it. Now I understand you have to do what you have to do in life. Okay, I understand that. But I had a talk with my boss or whatnot, and I was telling him that I wasn't really into it because prior to my last job, I was working somewhere, and I pulled a muscle. I sprained a muscle in my back, and it took me out of that job. So then I said I didn't want to do it anymore. Okay, so I didn't get workman's comp or none of that. I didn't. Um, could have been. It was my fault, for not, you know, letting them know that I had pulled strained my back. I didn't know that I had strained it. I just thought that maybe I had just overworked my back, and it's possible doing that, you know, in that line of work. So I ended up going to the hospital because it wasn't getting any better, and they did little X-rays or whatnot, and he was like, they told me, the doctor, he was like, well, you strained your muscle in your back, your upper back, and you have, did he say signs, or you're showing something about some deteriorating um, disc in my upper back. So I was like, okay, yeah, no, that's right there. That's enough for me to say that I'm not doing this anymore. And money got tight, tight. So I had to get another job, and I had to do that. And this job, it wasn't as strenuous. Like I didn't have to lift on so many residents, but um, it was more work. you know, um, it was more work, but it wasn't as hard like laborers. And I couldn't do it anymore. So, you know, I sat back and I said, what do I want to do? I said, okay, I want to do ride share, and I want to do tarot, and I want to do tarot readings, personal readings. Still to this day, I haven't done a personal reading because I don't have that. I don't know. Like, I had a tarot reading one time years ago, but I don't know. I don't know how they set it up. Like, maybe I should research it or ask someone. And that's something else about me. I don't like to ask for help, but I am slowly breaking out of that. Okay, the universe is teaching, and I'm pretty sure a lot of others can resonate with that. Sometimes it's hard to ask for help from from people, whatever, for whatever reason. Okay, but now I'm to a point to where I'm asking. Okay, and the only thing you could do is say yes or no. Okay, I have an intent, I have a desire, and we'll see. Okay, we will see. But as for the CNA thing, I don't know. I think it's. I remember like when I first started doing that type of work, CNA work. It was like a nightmare to work in a nursing home. But now, because I always only work in assisted living, okay? The only facilities that I have ever worked in are assisted livings. Now, assisted livings are, they have a lot more going on in nursing homes. I'm telling you, like things are all over the place. Okay, things are all over the place. 333. It's 3:33 p.m. here in Georgia. I'm just like noticing the numbers and everything. I done already saw 2222 and seeing 333. Um, whatever. But anyway, this is me. I'm I'm a quite laid back and simple person. Like a lot of people don't like to say that you're simple, but um I can be simple, okay? And it could have to do with me being a Taurus and earth signs, period. You know, or like nonchalant, okay? Um Not really flashy, but I get flashy now. I can get flashy, like I can, attract some attention if I want to. But for the most part, I'm just cool. You know, growing up, I was a tomboy, and I still got some of that in me. Uh, but I'm into men, okay? I'm into men. I'm into men. I was talking all this time thinking that maybe somebody was going to come into the room and say hello, but nobody came in. And like I said, it's like right at 53 minutes. It's been almost an hour. But guess what? I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep going live and I'm going to keep talking to myself and I'm going to keep building my content and I'm going to keep giving you content to listen to and to, learn from or just be inspired or, hear something that may resonates or confirms something that you're going through. But I will continue to do this. But as of now, I am about to jump off. My daughter will be home around 4:15. So I have to get dinner prepared. I will probably end up going live again. Yeah, just to see, if anybody's gonna peep in the room and say, hey Magical, how you doing? Blah blah blah, da da da. But I know it's probably gonna take some time because it took some time for me to start. I won't say being serious about it because every day I thought about, you know, posting content like during these past, especially Cancer and Taurus, but especially Cancer. Cancer season did something to me. Like it made me look at some things and some relationships and some people in my life and some values and it just, oh Lord. And now the same time as well, they said that Mercury is in the shadow or whatever period, but it's going direct the same day that Jupiter went direct, which is yesterday, August the 12th. Okay, today's 13th. So with Jupiter going direct in Sagittarius, I don't know, but it was like immediately when I woke up, I was like, it's time, okay, it's time to do it. And I jumped right on it and I hadn't stopped yet. Like, I hadn't stopped and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. When I get off here, guess where I'm going? Well, after I get finished doing what I gotta do, I'm going to Facebook. Also, my Facebook name is. Let me give you the actual. My son left my flashlight on my phone. He went up in the attic to get the cord. Okay, I have like four, maybe five Facebook pages. Okay, but it's one Facebook page that I'm on constantly. This is my main Facebook page, and it's the same page that I have my group on. I'm gonna show it to you. This is my Facebook, Magical Love Vibes Jones. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. There it is. That's me. See my necklace. See that's me. I just don't have on any makeup, and I have on my glasses. See my moon. Let me show you the group, which is Ascending Vibrations. I currently have 541 members. Okay, that's Ascending Vibration. So find me and hit me up if you're not already my friend on Facebook or into my group. The group is basically um, this is my intent for the group. The group is to help others challenge their perspective on religion. Okay, so it doesn't matter what your religion is in my group. Like you can be anything. I had somebody ask me. He he knew that I'm not a Christian. He said, Magical, why do you allow Christians in the group? Why do you allow Christians in the group? I said, because they're on their own path, and who am I to tell them that they're on a wrong path? You know what I'm saying? We all have our own path. So my intent for the group is to help others and others to help me also because I'm on this path too, okay? I just happen to be one that wants to be here, okay? And here I am. But broaden your horizons to raise your vibrations. If you know anything about me, I'm always talking about vibes, okay? I'm talking about energies, okay? You may catch me talking about my crystals and things like that, okay? So people post um, a lot of positive content. Every now and again, I have I have it to where I have to approve the post because and don't hate me for it. You just have to understand that a path is a path. But I had people that were trying to make my group a Black conscious group because I'm Black. Okay, I'm um, in love with my people. Okay, I'm in love with my people, and I understand them more than I understand any other people. Okay, I wouldn't want to be um, amongst any other people because I don't understand them. I don't want to be like anybody else. I want to be me. I love the skin that I'm in. I love my coarse hair. I recently, when I did this a couple of days ago. I had somebody jump on me. Oh, I think you're having an identity crisis because why would you want to color your hair the color of blah 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 blah? And I snapped. I went live on Facebook and I snapped, and that's something um, that I have to control with Aries being in my South Node. In my past life, I was probably a beast, okay, but just very defensive. Um, I get the sense that I was some kind of fighter, like some kind of warrior, very defensive, very defensive. Somebody that was in charge. Yeah, I was a leader and very good at um, doing that type of airy stuff. I can tell I was because I buck up, and that's something that I'm getting old now. You know what I'm saying? I'm 42. All that bucking up and all that other type of stuff. I ain't trying to get knocked down by some little young girl, okay, or some little young boy, or even somebody my age. Okay, I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to go there. Okay, so I'm trying to balance these energies, and you know, I've been working on myself, and I have come a long way. You know, because when I was younger, I was very um, shy. I was not outspoken at all, but I always around, the in crowd of people. But I was just introverted. I didn't go around picking fights, and if somebody picked a fight with me, if I wasn't angry or upset, then I wasn't going to fight them. You know, and that's just how I was when I was younger, and I found myself changing over the years. And it's like the older I got, the more aggressive I got, and the more mouth. My dad says, he says that I was always mouthy, like always not really mouthy, but I always was blunt and had a straightforward way of speaking to people. My mom says that too, but I don't recall that. I don't recall that. I recall just being timid. Um, but we grow, okay? We grow, and we have to grow into who we are and who we desire to be, and who our higher selves are, our God selves. You know, and that's my whole intent. Um, that's my whole intent right now in life is to be more and more inclined with my higher self, to be more intuitive, to be more spiritual, not necessarily like performing rituals and all this other type of spiritual, but just to conquer and master myself, okay? To gain wisdom and, knowledge. I have a lot of knowledge. I have so much divine wisdom. Like, I be saying stuff and people be like, "How did you know that?" And I be like, I don't know, but I learned that divine wisdom it comes from um, your higher self, that all knowing. How they say it, omnipotent or something like that. I don't know, all powerful, all knowing. Anyway, I think I talked long enough. I think this is like my third or my fourth time saying anyway. I'm about to go, but I'm still here. And still nobody has peeked into my room. This is not me complaining. I'm just, observing. But somebody's going to be curious and open the door and peep up in here. Maybe not this reading or this live feed, but maybe the next one. I don't know. A lot of people are at work and at school, so I'm just building content, okay? Letting you know who I am, who I'm not, how I got on this path. Um, and feel free to comment below. Let me know how, you know, first of all, what path you're on. Are you religious? If you are, it's fine. We all have our own path. I don't judge that anymore. Okay, that's not my place to judge anybody. Okay, um, but what spiritual path are you on? Um, how do you recall your first awakening being? Um, what type of people were significant in your awakening? Like, what type of people shunned you or, were drawn to you? What were the type of things that you were into? I mean, just, let's talk, communicate with me, and, let me know. All right. I'm gone this time, okay? I'm gone for real.